Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to day 10 of 21 Days to a More Conscious Life. How's everybody doing today? I've had a nice day, man. The weather was just so beautiful today. I went and took a drive, had some errands to do, and went up and took a drive into the hills. I couldn't find anywhere to pull off. The road was pretty narrow. So no video recording out and about today. But today's topic is going to be on yoga. So good I get to talk about all these things I love so much. It's so good. Yoga is another one of those things that we practice. And the benefits of yoga are really endless. And I think that primarily, they kind of fit into mind, body, and spirit. So I think it's a great way to kind of expand our consciousness in that way by paying attention to deeper levels of our body's strengths and being able to balance those strengths. It's amazing how one day doing yoga poses and you're totally like hitting so many of your balance poses, and then the next day it's like you're like wobbly, so which is totally natural, like even for people who do yoga regularly, teachers, instructors, it happens to everybody. So balance is always a nice thing too that we can find through yoga that helps us like realize that balance is kind of a ever-changing moving target. It's not like something that happens and it just stays there. We get over here a little bit, we gotta come back over here a little bit. So body, our mind, it helps us sleep better, helps slow down our thoughts, enables us to think about things in healthier, more constructive ways. It opens things up, solutions to problems that you didn't realize that you could solve, or places that you've been stuck. So yoga just has great things for our mind too. And then our spirit connects us to like the grander, spirit, like all encompassing universe, and then the spirit within us, and gets us in touch with deeper places within ourselves. And there's so many different kinds of yoga too. There's hot yoga, and there's Bikram yoga, and there's restorative yoga, and there's bhakti yoga, which is a love yoga. There's, you can do tantric yoga. There's so many different varieties of yoga, depending on where you are in life. If you're younger, you may want something more aggressive. If you're older, you may want something more restorative. And that may too change just depending on, if you've just had surgery, or if you're tired, or, if you have more energy. All those things can come into play. So there's just a beautiful variety of things to be able to tap into with yoga, as far as differences and different classes that you can take. There's tons of videos on YouTube. I have found I like to do classes. Classes tend to keep me into my practice more often, and I like to do that both in person and then also at home. And there's some really great things. So if you want to pay for classes and go, you can go to a studio, or you can also just do something right at home. through YouTube or on the TV. There's many, many ways, that we can do yoga, either through, something that we pay membership, or if your budget doesn't allow, or if you don't want to have that expenditure, then there's many of ways to get it for free too. So those are always helpful resources. And then, what else was I going to say? The other thing is, the beauty about being able to yoga is that you can do it anywhere. You can do it outside, you can do it on the beach, you can do it inside, you can do it on vacation, you can do it with props, you can do it without props. Props help a lot of times, if you've got, a lot of people tend to have like stiff hips, or problems like bending over all the way and touching your hands to the ground. So you can use blocks and that kind of stuff to raise your hips or to help your hands, so you can get like a really deep, full stretch, but not have to have like pain, where you're causing your pain body, or your body pain, or stretching to a point that would be detrimental. So that leads me into the other thing that I just really, really love about yoga, which would be that it doesn't have, the no pain, no gain axiom to it. Like when I was a gym rat when I was younger, and it's more about, stretching your body to its limits, but at the same time not hurting yourself, so you want to go just to your edge, not beyond your edge, because your edge is gonna, be able to break down muscle fibers and that kind of stuff to build muscle, but it's not going to take you over and hurt you. Not that you won't be sore, because once we do any kind of new activity, if you're not already doing yoga, or if you haven't been doing it and need to, or would like to get back to a practice of doing yoga, it's, once we start moving in areas or using parts of our body that we haven't used, then, we can have some muscle soreness, which I tend to love, but not everybody does. And again, it's that, soreness, like not the, oh my gosh, I can't sit down to go to the bathroom because my legs, I did legs today and my legs hurt so bad I can't even sit down. I never really enjoyed that intensity of pain when I was working out with weights and that kind of thing. Also, the way that it reshapes your body, and how easy it is to have changes in your body as far as weight goes, or even just the way, when I started doing yoga, like the way my body was shaped, around my hips and stuff, like just it changed. And for me, for the better. I think that a lot of women tend to, be concerned about our hip area, and for me, it kind of restructured my body in a way that it's like, oh, I like that part of my body now too. Of course, that's, working with self-talk and body accepting my body and that kind of stuff too. But yoga definitely played a part in that. So I don't know if I mentioned already, I think that I did, but sleep too. I feel like it definitely helps, or it does definitely help. If you have problems sleeping, or taking melatonin, or, waking up in the nights, I think yoga just kind of brings like a calm, like undercurrent to our lives in so many ways. So if you haven't given yoga a try, I know a lot of people think it's really easy, but you are using the resistance and the weight of your body to be able to do poses, which is, or can be, more difficult than it would seem. And it's definitely, unless you're just doing a really chill, a really chill workout, really I think any kind of yoga that you would choose to do, you would find some resistant poses that would definitely have you feeling like, oh, I didn't realize yoga was, challenging. And for some reason, I think that it's, has gotten somewhat of, where it's easy, but I don't find that to be the case at all. And I really am so grateful that I have yoga in my repertoire of practices that I love and enjoy for my mind and body and spirit. It does really hit on so many levels. They always play great music, so you add in that element too. And then, depending on the instructor, there can be other elements that are brought into lightning. There's a place that a studio that I went here that was right on the river, so there'd be swans and stuff like that was right in the river, so that was always nice too, to bring in nature. There's like a wall of windows. So many different options for studios too. And when you're traveling, you don't have to take much with you if you don't want to. You could take a mat, or you could not use a mat. You could take blocks or bands or anything like that. You can take them or you can not take them, and you still can do your practice. The other thing I love too is, after doing yoga for so long, my body kind of has a rhythm of poses and stuff that it likes to do. So, I can just like sit and my body just kind of starts moving and doing, stretches and working its areas that are tight and stuff like that out. So, yoga. Beautiful, beautiful yoga. If you haven't tried, I highly recommend. And maybe if you haven't been active with your practice, maybe this will encourage you to get back to a more regular practice. Yeah. And help you think about things in a different way, right? All of these things are kind of geared towards us being more conscious in our lives and expanding our consciousness. And as we do that, we help other people around us do that. We set a nice example for other people to start looking at things differently, and then we all reap the benefits of that. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Blessings, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.